Hi, thanks for tuning in to My Time, My Life with Trinette. In prior episodes, I talked about how hard it was for me to model in Paris and New York when I was younger, and how I ended up in Boston where I would return to school. In the essay that accompanies this podcast episode, I wrote about how I got my job with Matt Damon and how following my gut by leaving LA for Boston was instrumental in my getting that opportunity. And you can find that essay if you link through my website, trinettefeint.com. In this podcast episode, I want to talk about how important it is to listen to your gut and that it's all right if people think that you're crazy. The first thing I want to say here is that we're all on different journeys and it's good that they don't all look alike. I am 51 years old and I've always been a nomadic sort, which I suppose was planted in me as a teenager looking for something different than staying in my hometown of Joliet, Illinois. The world would be a really boring place if we all wanted the exact same things. As young women, we are spoon fed this idea that we have to get married and have kids in order to be happy and complete. I call bullshit. It's just not all of our life's plans. Sure wasn't mine. And I have nothing against that, but it was never what I was striving for. I have lots of friends whose lives are similar to mine. Childless, some are married, some not, and we're all big travelers. And whatever any of us wants to do is totally fine. Let's just level set there. Thankfully, my mom never pressured me to get married or have kids. And I always thought, in regards to kids, if I couldn't say it was 100% yes, then it was definitely a no. And I always knew that I would need to go out into the world to get into the world, and that it just wasn't going to come to me. This nomadic sensibility of mine has allowed me to travel the world and do interesting things outside of my comfort zone with no regrets. Believe me, people have thought I was crazy more than a few times in my life. Be it traveling to China or Mexico alone, to leaving a good job like the one I had in LA at Will Smith's company to return to Boston, or my choice to leave New York and move to Maine for a few months. But here's a little secret. When you're expanding the boundaries of your life and trying something new, some people don't know how to process that because they've not done enough boundary pushing themselves. And this is perfectly okay. We all need friends and loved ones to put us in check sometimes and to point out our blind spots. But ultimately, it's your life and you deserve to live it exactly how you choose. As long as you're not hurting anyone, risk away and do you. This is also why I love reading and watching documentaries about people's lives and how they found success. More often than not, it wasn't by playing it safe and conforming to any kind of convention. From Aurora James to Edward Enninful to Bozoma St. John and many others, the through line there is that they all took a chance and leapt into the world following their intuitions and curiosities. And by sharing my experiences on this podcast, I hope to inspire you to take chances, to push your own boundaries, and follow your own curiosities. You never know where they'll lead you. Thanks so much for listening. And please feel free to be in touch through my website, trinettefeint.com, with any questions or comments or anything at all.